Hi, so this is a video explaining what the Employee Retention Tax Credit, or ERTC, is, and the opportunity to become a referral partner along with that. So, what the Employee Retention Tax Credit is something that the IRS implemented to help small businesses through COVID-19. You've probably heard of PPP loans, Personal Pay or Paycheck Protection Program. So that's when the IRS sent around two applications for those PPP loans and then loan forgiveness so that they could continue to pay their employees during the crisis. And previously, if you took the PPP loans, you couldn't take the ERTC. But as of about 6 months ago, the IRS changed the tax language to say that if you did take those PPP loans, your credit is only reduced. So you're still eligible. You just can't use those same wages to allocate to this credit versus the PPP loans. So what is possible with the ERTC credit is you can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you averaged less than 100 employees or less in 2019, then you're eligible for the 2020 portion of the credit, which is $5,000 per W-2 employee. If you averaged 500 employees or less in 2020, then you're eligible for the 2021 portion of the credit, which is $7,000 per quarter for the first 3 quarters per W-2 employee. So up to $26,000 per W-2 employee is possible. So with that, if we go through this whole eligibility check, we see that you are, process your payroll, it gets sent to the IRS, and it takes about, right now they're estimating 8 to 9 months to process each one of these credits because they're auditing every single one of these. These come back to the companies in the form of a check. So whenever the IRS is sending a company ranging from $10,000 check to a $2.83 million check, they're doing their due diligence and making sure that our calculations are correct. So it does take a little bit of time, but this is money that is coming straight back to the business in the form of a check. And what's awesome about the company that I work for, Virus, is we don't charge a single thing until the company gets money back from the IRS. So let's say I have an eligibility call with a company and we find out that it doesn't sound like they're eligible. They don't owe us anything. If we think that they are eligible, we go through their whole calculation, we create the forms, we send it off to the IRS, and the IRS declines it, saying that, nope, we don't think they are. And they don't get any money out of it. Virus doesn't get any money out of it. They only pay Virus whenever they get that check from the IRS. So Virus charges a 20% contingency fee. So whenever they do get that, say the return for a client is $100,000, Virus is going to get $20,000 of that. And the interesting thing is that if there's a referral partner on that agreement, they're going to get a percentage of the revenue that Virus got from that. So in that same example, if you had a 10% referral partner contract, and Virus got $20,000, you would get $2,000. And so the potential for a referral partner is really, really big because, for example, we had a credit we processed for $2.8 million. If you were a 10% referral partner on that, when that money comes back in, you would get a check for 54 grand straight to you for that one company. And so the possibilities for this are pretty big. And so the best thing to do as far as credit size goes is you want to find a company with as close to 500 full-time employees as you can that hasn't taken advantage of this credit. Given the smaller companies are probably going to be the ones that haven't heard of it or taken advantage of it, because if you're a big company, then you probably have a team of people who are supposed to be looking into this so that you can take advantage of it rather than being educated in it from an outsider. But those were like the whales or the big fish that are still out there in the pond. And the fact that we did a credit for one pretty recently shows that they're still out there. We just have to find them. So if you're at all interested in becoming a referral partner in this opportunity, the only thing that you would have to actually do is get the client interested enough to talk to me. Bring them to me. I'll figure out if they're eligible, how they were affected by COVID, if it's something we should move forward with. If we decide that they are eligible, they sign their contract, they get us back all the necessary forms, then you will need to assist me in gathering their payroll documentation, their quarterly 941 revenue reports, any healthcare documentation that they have, if they took WOTC, if they took FMLA credits, those kind of things. And so I could give all these forms that you need to request in the form of a list, and you probably need to send that initial email out to them and help gather those, but I'm going to assist you with that. I'll probably be doing most of that legwork because I'll be the one who's setting up the file for us and then helping work on that credit. So that is the only piece of responsibility that would be in your hands. And given the fact that you have the potential to make a lot of money off of any client that you bring, just doing that, it's a pretty sweet deal and almost a form of passive income, because this stuff's going to come much later. And for you, you're not going to be doing those calculations. You're just bringing us the clients. So I think this is a really great opportunity. And if you have any businesses that you can show are interested, you can bring them to me. If I can get maybe 2 or 3 eligibility assessments from clients that you bring to me, then I can talk to our lawyer and ask them to write up a referral contract for you, and then can discuss percentages and whatnot in that moment in time. So if there's any more specific questions about this, just let me know.